Hello everyone, my name is SRP and welcome to Kalaakaar Makerspace videos. In today's video, we are at our farmhouse and we want to do some automation here. For that, we are going to use these two products. This is a WLC which switches on and switches off the motor, and this is a float which tells if the tank is full or not. So using these two components, we will be automating the process of filling and emptying the tank. Let's go ahead and get started. To do the automation of shutting down the motor when the tank is full and switching it on when it is empty, we need two components. One is the brain, as I call it. This has WLC, and this one does the job of actually shutting down or switching on the motor, and this is a float which actually tells if the tank is empty or full. Before we proceed, let's understand this brain. The brands that I'm using is Khyatee, and since I am in the village area, they use this brand most popularly for all the agricultural lands, but it's the same system that works for all. Right now I'm using a motor without starter. Here is the input that is from the mains, and this is the output that goes to the motor, and by default they will definitely give you with the ports closed, which you don't need to connect. For the input, I've taken it from the main, and for the output, I've connected to this bulb. This Khyatee with WLC, which I call the brains, actually is intelligent enough to set the current of the motor. It detects it when you first switch it on and it tries to set. It can give you a current level of 1 to 16 amperes, and because I have connected a bulb which is less than 1 amperes, it will show fault, but I will be able to give you a demo of how this works. Then when I do the actual installation, we will be able to see how the Khyatee WLC works. Apart from that, we have the motor on switch, motor off switch. This is to set it in manual mode or an auto mode. If it is in manual mode, then you can press the green button or the red button to switch on and switch off the motor. If it is in auto mode, then it will try to get information from the float. Let me go to this place and explain why we have these two switches. So we have these three terminals for the upper tank, and we have these three terminals for the lower tank. The reason being, the upper tank is where we need to fill the water, but what if the lower tank is empty? We will have a second float like this which will be connected to the lower tank. So the way that it will work is, if both are set in auto, it will first check if the lower tank is full, then it will check if the upper tank requires water, and it will start the motor to send water from the lower tank to the upper tank. But since we are not going to do the lower tank automation, I've just jumped all the cables, and we will be connecting the upper tank float just to the upper tank terminals. And that is why we have these two buttons, where this one is for the upper tank and this one is for the lower tank, and by default we have set the lower tank to auto. Here I have the float system, and as you know, when the water is going to rush on top of it, because it is filled with air, it's going to float and come up to the top, and there is a solid piece of ball inside which is moving when we actually change the position. So when it is like this, it is going down, which is not pressing the switch and letting us know that it is in down position, but as the water fills and it comes up, the ball kind of rushes back and it pushes on the switch to let it know that it has changed its position, as in the water has filled. Get those informations at the end. Usually a float comes with the 3 pins. So the black here is going to be the common one, and the red and green are going to give normally close or normally open. You don't have to actually get into the nitty-gritties of what normally close or normally open is. In my case, if I connect the green and the black wire, in this position the motor gets switched off, and in this position the motor gets switched on, which is what I don't want. So here's the float, and here are those two wires. How did I find out which wire works? So first I will connect the black wire to this middle port, because this is common, we don't have to change this. And according to the documentation, we have to loop the third terminal to the second terminal. So I'll do that with this small jumper wire. Now what I did was, I connected the green wire to see if at what position this switches on and switches off, and it did not work fine for me. So I connected the red wire and found out that this is the right connection to be made. So all the two wires are connected and the third wire is just left as is. Now I'll switch on the system, but before that I have set this to manual and I have set this to auto because I want to show you if I press manually the motor what happens. So once I switch on, you should be able to see that the input voltage is around 226 volts and voltage is selected, the power is on, and right now the motor is off. So if I press motor on, it immediately switches it on and I can switch it off. Once the connection is made, if I switch it on, it again says that the input voltage is 230 volts, but you can see now it says the upper tank is full. So if I drop it, then the upper tank full has gone off and it resets and it starts a timer to check if the float is in off position, meaning that the tank is empty, and then after the time is run it will start the light. As you can see, after the time is over, the motor get automatically switched on. Now that's the theory of it. Let's do the practical implementation by taking it to the tank and installing it. Before installation, there are different tanks with different sizes, so it is important to set the middle weight. Now you might ask, what is the requirement of this middle weight? This determines at what level the float is going to stop. For example, if I set here, while the water fills, it is going to come like this, and the moment the ball hits the switch like here, and it is going to inform the WLC to switch off the motor. So which means at this level the water is going to get stopped, and this is considered as a tank being full. And if you want to increase it, you have to increase this height a little more. You can increase it like this. This way, if the float comes about to this level, then automatically it will stop. After setting up the tank, here's the final connection that I have made. So here's the brains and I have connected it to the MCB. So if I shut it down, it will go off and I can switch it on. That is to do some maintenance work. As for the second improvement, I have connected the motor to a 2-pin plug. That is because if I at any point want to run the motor, I can run it manually, because once I set it into auto, I am not able to start it by switching it on. So I can plug this to a external power source and can have that running. Now I connected it, so it is checking if the tank is full and it will switch on automatically. And that's how I was able to automate this process of filling the tank. Now my wife will not shout at me that the tank is always empty. Now the controller will take care of it. I hope you like such videos, and if you're new to this channel, do subscribe because I always upload project based videos. Kalaakaar Makerspace is a DIY channel and I hope to bring you more such DIY videos. If you're an old subscriber, thank you for sticking so long and seeing till the end. I hope to see you in the next video also. Until next time, happy learning.